I wanted to talk about just this idea of having patience, and it's okay if you don't have it figured out yet, or these examples that I see sometimes about how Genghis Khan didn't have it figured out until he was apparently Genghis Khan didn't become who he is today. He became at 44 years old. And I also think that the KFC guy, Colonel Sanders or whatever, he was like a real dude that like he literally he made KFC at like 60 something, I think. And people use that as a way of telling you that it's not too late or that you have time. But um I kind of mentioned this in another video of mine about how the fact that you don't have enough time and the fact that it's never too late, like those both of those things are true, and you should be playing with both of those ideas together. You should have this sense of urgency, plus like never being like, oh, there's no point in me trying this because it's too late. Like that time is gone. So you have those two things being true at the same time, uh, which means that you should just be getting on with whatever it is that you want to do or you want to get uh, uh, out of life. You should just be doing that, whatever that is. And I wanted to kind of mention how like having you probably have a life you want to live or a situation that you want to be in, but it always seems like, at least in the way the world works, at least here in the US, it's like you only really get that when you retire when you're 60 something years old, which is ridiculous, of course. Like, this is the dumbest idea ever. Like, I have you know how much I have in my 401k? $0, and I'm planning on never putting anything on it. I'm not doing a Roth IRA either, because like if I'm 60 and I haven't figured something out, then that's it. Like, it's whatever. Uh, I believe I've mentioned that in another video, but yeah, it's not like like, I mean, I'm sorry, but at 60 years old, like that's when I get to not have a job. At 60 years old is when I get to have more than 1 week off every year, or 2 weeks off every year at 60. No, why would I do that? The best years of my life are right now, in my 20s, right? Why would that? Sounds like the dumbest idea ever, you know? And that's why it's a sprint. Like, you really want to get through the phase where you're really working, and you can't really do that much. You're not having as much fun. You're not enjoying yourself too much. You're like stressing about this and that. Like, you want to literally make that as little of your life as possible, and get to a point where you can genuinely enjoy yourself and do whatever it is you want to do as soon as possible. As soon as possible. If you can make it at 16, then perfect. 18, 20, 25. As like, the quicker you get to the life you want to live, think about this. The quicker you get to the life you want to live, to driving the car you want to drive, to living in the house you want to live in, wearing the clothes you want to wear, doing whatever you want to do on any day of the week, the quicker you get there, the more of your life is going to be that. Like, if you live until 80, and you get there at, like, I don't know, 30 years old, you want to spend the 50 years of your life enjoying yourself and living the way you want to live, right? And of course, if you can make it there before 30 years old, even better. Like a 60-year-old driving a Corvette is like whatever. But like imagine a 25-year-old driving a really nice car like a Corvette. That's the car that I like. Like that's crazy. Like imagine how enjoyable it is to be like a young person and just living the life you want to live. So yeah, it's a sprint. You literally want to take as many shortcuts. You want to just straight ahead no matter what, just try whatever, throw money at it, you know, within reason of course, like don't go homeless, but it's to at least to me it's worth everything. Like I will happily be still like I'll throw money and I'll throw time at something that can potentially get me the life that I want to live and maybe get to like 40 years old and I'm still like poor and broke, but I really went after it than not doing that and kind of playing it safe and kind of playing it safe and dedicating most of my time 8 hours every day to some job. You know, I would rather not. Like if I do have a job, it would have to be in service of uh of that goal of wanting to live in some sort of like abundance. I don't want to like I want to have my own place. I want to have a nice car. I don't want to have to go nowhere. I want to be able to just be like, okay, I'm going on a trip. You know, like I know that that's the life I want to live, and the quicker you can get to that, to whatever that is for you, the better. You do not want to be old, and that's when you can get started with your life. It makes the whole thing is flipped. Like they literally want the best years of your life. You're youthful, you have vitality, you're strong, you go to bed feeling like having pains and aches and you wake up brand new. They want you to take those times of your life, spend them at some office or like as a blue collar worker, like just literally just doing that for scraps, for enough money to pay rent or to pay your mortgage, which then turns into a rent to the government. You know, it's like no. How about I take the most the most vital, youthful, and energetic years of my life and I put them and I live them in like a really fun, enjoyable way. Like how about I go out and like experience things, you know? The the sooner you can get you can become a realized person, the better. It makes no sense to wait for nothing. You want to sprint through that. Whether it's a business that eventually, in 5, 6, 8 years manages to kind of get you out of it or whatever it may be, whatever option you see, the better. Like just get on that because at least for me, that's no life. Like I've made my choice. I will happily have no savings and no nothing and go for it. Then play it safe and just make sure I have my piggy bank so that when I'm 60, I can stop working. No, I'll just try and make something happen. Like literally, like I'm good. No thanks. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about that because people just they always say that. Oh, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon, and it's like no, it's the other way around. You want to be young. You don't want to be old. Like I feel like it just makes perfect sense. right? And by the way, you can age gracefully. Like I'm gonna be going to the gym when I'm 90 years old. I'm doing my cardio. I'm gonna start stretching. Um, I'm eating super healthy so that I can just, as I get old, it's gonna be, it's not gonna be like these people that literally they tell you, oh, bro, just wait until you hit 40, and you're not gonna be able to do that anymore. And it's like, no, dude, I'm not you. You you eat like shit. You don't exercise. I'm not gonna end up like you because I'm not like you. But still, still, even then, even if you are uh, a graceful 43-year-old, you really don't really want to start like having the life you want to have then. Like that sucks, dude. You're 43. Like it's no 25. I'm sorry. It's just not. And I think the quicker you realize that, it should motivate you, and it should tell you that now is the time, you know, and that you should have it figured out. You should really dedicate time to figuring it out because the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. Yeah. I'll see you guys.